Can you come in here for a second, please?
What?
I have some good news.
What's that?
So I entered us in this competition, and we won a grant.
What? Who would give us a grant?
Well, I'm glad you asked. There's this team who loves new artists, they're a bunch of good timers. They give away this grant in honor of Leigh Weimers. Now Leigh was quite the guy, though he's not around today. He believed in lifting up the artists here in San Jose. His passing left us solemn, he used to write a column published in the Mercury News. He was hip, he was cool, he repped the small timers. He was nitty, he was gritty, his name was Leigh Weimers. Though he passed in 2012, he's still paving the way, still lifting up the up-and-comers right here in the Bay. So you see, Johnny, dreams do come true.
Yeah.
You look confused.
Well, it's just, I don't understand how this grant came to be.
So then this guy named Steve...
Oh, you mean Steve Borkenhagen?
Yeah.
I hear that guy can captivate a room like Ronald Reagan.
Oh yeah, that Steve is smooth, but so is Leigh's wife Jerry. They get this great idea for a grant that's legendary. And right here in our city, they form this great committee that funds emerging artists like us. They're hip, they're hot, they rep the small timers. They're a nitty-gritty committee, they call them Leigh Weimers. They've had actors, singers, dancers, painters, sculptors, harpists, rhymers. They've dropped near 100 grand in the name of Leigh Weimers. So that is how we won it.
Wait, but
don't make me repeat it.
We're humbled to be honored, there is nothing that can beat it.
So place us on the roster of the greats who came before us. We are simple jingle writers, but we're glad that you adore us.
For helping artists blossom,
SJ Rotary is awesome. We'll honor you and Leigh as we grow.
'Cause now we're
hip, we're cool, we're kinda big timers. All because of your committee in the name of Leigh Weimers. And though we never met him, he's still paving the way. He's still lifting up the up-and-comers right here in the Bay. Bro, I really hate this couch.
Yeah, I know, bro. It's so annoying. Like, when there used to be sports, I kept looking down and thinking, damn, this piping is just the entirely wrong style for this living space. You know, bro?
Bro, it's like you're reading my mind. This texture is just like off, bro. Fabrically speaking.
We should toss it.
Wait, hang on, bro. Abby's?
Abby's.
There's this awesome mom I know, based in Northern California. She'll take your couch away and then with no delay, reupholster it right for ya.
Get a fully custom job, or freshen up that piece from grandma. Clean and top stitch seams will brighten up your dreams. Get the hints to La Casita, biscuit blind and diamond tufting too, or get some pillows done in Abby blue. She says that dreams don't work unless we do. There's even virtual appointments for you. When you need upholstery, Abby's can. For some neat upholstery, Abby's can. When you need upholstery, Abby's can. For some neat upholstery, Abby's can. Well, it's spring in San Jose, but it's hardly like vacation. 'Cause you're stuck at home in quarantine, but at least there's still Roy Station. You can don a mask and gloves, and then head to 5th and Jackson. Social distance on the patio, with a cold brew for relaxing. Thank you God and Buddha too. We've got Roy's to see us through, brewing coffee just for you. They've got barbecue pork buns too. Oh, it's the heart of San Jose. In a world of dull hodgepodge, it's the perfect family coffee shop made from Grandpa's old garage. Long live Joe, long live Royce, Royce Station.
Hi, I'm Lydia Ray Black. I work here in my garage in South San Jose, mostly in oil paint, but I also have a lot of acrylics, and trust me, as many art supplies as I'm ever going to need, probably, until there's a sale. With the abandoned house paintings that I'm going to show you here, there's a lot of choices that I've made in what to depict. There's a lot of things I've decided to paint out or not include. There's a lot of colors that I've substituted. I'm going to show you some of my references as well. I've gathered them over the last 15 years or so, and some of them might not be high resolution. I feel really fortunate that I've had access to these places. I feel that in some ways they're disappearing, but I'm also finding entirely new ones out there all the time. I was born in Mississippi, moved to California at a pretty young age. I feel like I've always kind of had one foot in each state, and I've lived in San Jose for about 20 years now. Went to college here at San Jose State, and I got my BFA in painting. The contrast between this area and the area my father's family is from is huge, and that has really influenced my work. When I go back to Mississippi, my dad keeps tabs on properties that I've photographed, and we find new ones to visit every time I go. So some have been abandoned for 10 years, some for 20, some for just 6 months. Taking photos of these spaces was challenging. I learned a bit about how your eye sees differently than what the camera can capture. So light spaces are exaggerated in brightness. Dark spaces sometimes are completely lacking detail and lower values. The deconstructed quality of the structures that I've been taking photos of has allowed me to be inventive and improvisational with painting, which is what keeps me going with the pursuit. When I started this body of work, it didn't seem like a body of work. And I feel like that's sort of how I generally end up committing to things. I don't realize I'm committing to something until I've done 10 paintings. Now I almost feel like I'm relearning composition every time I paint. I feel like there's always a lot that you can learn from looking at artists who are good at that kind of thing. For instance, I really enjoy Edward Hopper's compositions. I think he's a stellar draftsman. I love his heavy sense of isolation in his paintings. And I try to emulate that even though I'm a much busier painter. A lot more textures, a lot more movement of the brush that I'd characterize as frantic. And I'm not sure I don't like that. I think I actually really enjoy being a bit of a busybody in regard to detail. Even if it's not at all accurate to reference, a lot of my work steps over into abstraction in that way, and there's a lot of pieces that have bits in them that are completely nonsensical, have no basis in reality. They're just like an abstraction of color. Just to make that little space more entertaining for me as I'm working on it. I put my reference photo away at a certain point while working, and then I react to the painting as I see it happening in front of me. I think a little bit about consumerism when I'm composing a work, more about how people actively pursue the purchase of items that they feel drawn to, and maybe those items aren't useful at all. I participate in this system just as much as everybody else does. I absolutely cannot escape the machine. I'm thinking about it a lot though when I paint discarded things. I'm also interested in how people curate their spaces, how people acquire things that they enjoy. I love to acquire stuff, and sometimes I have to get rid of it, and how that process is tackled psychologically is fascinating. Our sense of self is really bound up in ownership. Things that we own, sometimes we acquire them to define us, and sometimes getting rid of things or leaving things behind is also extremely formative. What I want people to take away from my paintings is a sense of nostalgia and reality being at odds. Our psychological need for things to remain as they were in our memory isn't realistic. Very few things are permanent. I remember having that kind of revelation in childhood, returning somewhere where we had stayed when I was younger, seeing how it had changed, how it had become smaller. The furniture was different and the walls had changed color. Change is necessary and inevitable, and not to be afraid of it is difficult. When it comes to houses breaking apart, many houses have a lot of 90-degree angles. They have square corners, flat floors, beams that are straight and true. And I really think one of the things that's interesting to paint is something that's become crooked, something that's a little bit broken, has defects and an individuality. We all understand instinctively how a room works. We all know what dimensions a conventional doorway is. Time and decay subverts all that. I hope that my paintings are seen as being honest, even though they're not accurate. I hope that they're seen as interesting, even though they don't involve people. I hope they're seen as timeless, even though they're really about a moment in time. I hope my work is seen as important.
Start. Today I may not have a thing at all, except for just a dream or two. But I've got lots of plans for tomorrow, and all my tomorrows belong to you. Right now it may not seem like spring at all. We're drifting and the laughs of you. But I've got rainbows planned for tomorrow, and all my tomorrows belong to you. No one knows better than I that luck keeps passing me by. That's fate. But with you there by my side, I'll soon be turning the tide. Just wait. As long as I've got arms that cling at all, it's you that I'll be clinging to. And all the dreams I dream, beg or borrow, oh, some bright tomorrow they'll all come true. And all my bright tomorrows belong to you. Tomorrow belongs to Move like you, breathe like you, sing like you love yourself, brave like you, bold like you, strong like you love yourself, like you've never known the weight of heavy-hearted, like you've overcome the boundaries and the walls, like you're standing in your greatness. You were born to love yourself. Dance like you, speak like you, stand like you love yourself. heavy-hearted, like you've overcome the boundaries and the walls, like you're standing in your greatness you were born to.